The cell cycle are the parts of the cell's life that it's going to go through between its formation and division, when it's going to divide then into two identical daughter cells. We see that for the majority of the cell's life, it's going to spend its time in interphase. So this whole portion of our cell's life cycle here is interphase. Interphase means between division. So if this is between division, this part of the cell cycle is going to be when it's actually dividing. Whether we are looking at a body cell like skin or muscle, it's going to go through a division called mitosis. And if we're going to talk about your sex cells, which are the sperm and egg cells, it's going to go through a division called meiosis, which we're going to get to later. So, just talking about regular body cells, our body cells are going to be referred to as autosomes. And our autosomes are what are going to divide through mitosis. So interphase, we can break this down into three different parts that these cells are going to enter. So right after a cell divides and it makes two identical daughter cells, both of these identical daughter cells are going to jump into the first part of interphase, which is called G1. In G1, the cell is going to grow. Right now, these cells start off, they're pretty small, and their main process is to grow and get bigger. At the end of G1, we hit a checkpoint, and the cell is going to check, hey, did I grow big enough? If it passes this checkpoint, it is then going to enter the S phase, and S stands for synthesis. And we know that synthesis means to make, and what we see is the cell is going to make a copy of the DNA. So we'll go ahead and add that. It's going to copy the DNA. At the end of the synthesis phase and interphase, there is another checkpoint. The cell is going to do a double check. Hey, did the DNA get copied correctly? If so, then it's ready to enter the third part of interphase, which is called G2, or growth 2. Our cell is going to continue to grow, but more specifically, it's going to duplicate organelles. So when it gets ready to divide, each cell is going to have enough organelles to survive. So we'll go ahead and make more organelles. At the end of our G2, we see we are going to hit another checkpoint. The cell's going to do a double check. Hey, do we have enough organelles? If it passes this checkpoint, then it is ready to go through the steps of mitosis, and it's going to divide and make two identical daughter cells. You can go ahead and watch my next video. I'm going to walk you through the different parts of mitosis, and we can use the acronym PMAT, and we'll go ahead and add this here. It's going to be backwards, though, because we're going to go around this way. To learn about what happens during each of those phases.